In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at creating, saving, and sharing custom settings in iCandy 6. Saving your own custom settings is a tremendous time saver. How many times have you looked at one of your designs and said to yourself, "Now how did I do that?" By saving your favorite and most often used effects as custom settings, you will really boost your productivity. Please note that we are just using iCandy as an example here, and that this technique applies to most if not all of our current products, so it'll simplify your workflow with all of your Alien Skin plugins. Now I'm going to start with this simple text layer I just created in Photoshop. Now I'm using Photoshop CS4, which supports the use of panels, so I'm definitely going to take advantage of being able to run iCandy from this panel inside my Photoshop pane. You can still run our filters in the traditional manner from the Filters menu, but if you have CS4, you should really take advantage of this sweet little feature for sure. Now I'm going to click on the Corona button here to launch the iCandy Corona filter in my iCandy user interface. Now I'm going to go up here and choose large, and just the first one, and then an easy way to do this is just use the arrow down key, and you can kind of quickly zip through until you find some settings that you particularly like. There's one I like right there called Electric Storm. So at this point I'm going to switch over here to the Basic tab and just kind of move some things around, get it more the way I like it. Okay, when I get things the way I like them, switch back over here to the Settings tab, and down here under User Settings I'm going to click Save. Okay, now I can name this, something intuitive like My Electric Storm. Now, naming these settings intuitively really is a good idea. A lot of our users will actually, graphic designers in particular, will actually name a particular setting after a client job, because then they can always go back and reproduce it if they need to. When that client comes back and says, "You remember the signs that you did for us, you remember the logo you did for us, we want the same sort of thing done." Well, it's pretty easy to do that way. Now, I can name the category I want to put this under. So I'm going to say Cool Settings. Okay, and then when I click OK, you notice my Cool Settings category shows up here, and my settings shows up right underneath it. Pretty simple. Okay, now I'm going to look down here and look for some others I kind of like. Peach Fuzz. This one I like. Phosphorescent Glow. So same deal. I'll go back here, make some adjustments, get things more the way I like them. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, now again, go back here to the settings, under User Settings, click Save, and I'm going to name this one My Phosphorescent Glow. Imagine that. Okay, now you notice I could put it in Cool Settings here in an existing folder or create a new one. So I'm going to create a new one. We'll call it Funky Settings. Okay, click that, and there it is. It appears down here right underneath it. Now it's pretty easy to reorganize, rename, move the settings around right down here in the User Settings pane. If I right-click on a setting, you notice I get a sub-menu: Delete, Send by Email, Export, Rename, or Change Category. Now, if you're on a Mac and you're still using a one-button mouse, you can press the Control key and get this same sub-menu. But you notice the options I have here: Send by Email. If you're using Apple Mail or Microsoft Outlook, this option will work. You just select it and it will open your email client. It will create a new message. It will automatically attach the setting to it, so you can email it to yourself or a coworker or whatever. The export option, if I want to send this to my desktop here, which is what I'm going to do. My Electric Storm, and it was exported successfully, so I click OK. Now, rename or change category here. Let's say I decided that I wanted to name this My Electric Storm 1 because I had more than one, and I decided it was funkier than it was cool, so I can click OK, and you see it automatically renames the setting and moves it to the other folder. Now, another really simple way to reorganize is just grab the setting, and drag and drop. If I decided these were actually cooler than they were funky, there they go, right back over into there. So now, if I'm going to cancel this out, go back to my desktop, and find this cool setting, My Electric Storm. So I double click, and it says it was imported successfully. And now if I launch program again, you can see there it is, My Electric Storm 1, My Phosphorescent Glow. So everybody's there. So it's actually an easy way to back things up. Let's say you're afraid of losing your settings, or if your computer goes down or whatever, you can actually export these settings and store them on a separate disk. So if anything ever happened, you would have them. So spend a little time getting comfortable with managing your settings. It's a real time saver, and if you're in the design business, you know that time is money